Hey,
All
everybody,
right.
welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, the premier source for Second Amendment news. And I am joined by your favorite attorney, Mr. Bill Sack from Firearms Policy Coalition. Before we tell you why he's on the channel today, because it's something great for my state, Bill, first off, thank you for your time. I know you're extremely busy, and taking time out of your schedule to talk to our viewers is greatly appreciated. So thank you.
Sure thing, Jared. Happy to be here. Thank you for having us on the channel.
So why don't we talk to the folks who are watching? There's a lot of new gun owners out there. Tell them a little bit about yourself, what you do, Firearms Policy Coalition, and what Firearms Policy Coalition is and what it does.
Sure. So I think I'll tackle those questions in reverse order. Firearms Policy Coalition is a national nonprofit group, and our mission is to protect the constitutional rights of all Americans. And in particular, of course, we've got to focus on the Second Amendment. So we address not only Second Amendment rights, but also First, 14th, 5th, 6th Amendment rights as they're under attack pretty much constantly in the United States here.
Yeah,
One of the things that differentiates us, I think, within the gun rights sphere is we like to be incredibly active in the courts. We like to put our money where our mouth is. And anytime there's an opportunity to litigate, to vindicate and restore the Second Amendment rights of the people, that's what we're going to aim to do. So you'll see that we're in court a lot more than we're just running our mouths. So to that end, what I do, and one of the things that also differentiates FPC is we have our own in-house litigation team. So I am blessed and really proud to be part of that litigation team. We have lawyers all over the country that work with us in-house. And my job, as we like to say internally, is to turn money into freedom.
that's awesome. And I know you guys are extremely aggressive, which I love. And I'm going to pause that real quick and talk to the viewers here, guys and gals. Firearms Policy Coalition, if you follow anything they do, follow their Instagram or their Facebook. They're very, very active nationwide. You might have heard of their most recent major victory, Miller v. Becerra. It's the California assault weapon ban case. That's a 32-year-old ban that they just scored a victory thanks to Judge Roger T. Benitez in San Diego. So they're very, very active, and they are a nonprofit. To that, if you're a viewer of this channel, I ask for you to please donate and or join or do both, please, to Firearms Policy Coalition. I'll put the link back on the screen. Joinfpc.org. And this video we're doing is going to be premiered on YouTube. So if you have it in your heart and you're able to spare a couple dollars, every super chat that is brought in during this episode, I'm going to donate right over to Firearms Policy Coalition. And I'm going to put something on top from my end as well, because I believe in what you guys and gals do over there, and especially getting to know you guys and gals, that you guys are solid, and I love what you do, and I'm here to help you out in any single way.
Well, I appreciate that. And since we're talking about, things that our new gun owners and our new audience can do to support the Second Amendment, in addition to going to joinfpc.org to join FPC and donate, it's a really crucial and important time right now that everyone also lends their comments in opposition of the new unfinished receiver rulemaking that the ATF has proposed. To accomplish that, please go to stopatf.org. If you go there, that will take you to an FPC link where you can submit your comments in opposition to that rulemaking. And in addition, we have fightshipment.com, where you can get involved and contact your senators to let them know that it's desperately needed that we block the nomination for the director of the ATF, Dave the Waco Kid Shipman. What a disaster that guy is. We got to make sure he is not confirmed for the director of ATF.
I don't think there could be a worse choice to lead that agency. Horrible. He's a clown.
No, he's a mess.
I will also, if you guys and gals aren't familiar with what he mentioned, I'll have links floating above to those videos that I have done on those situations, and I'm sure you guys FPC will be getting involved in the pistol brace issue that was just unleashed. So we'll put the links down below for that as well. All right, buddy, let's jump into the meat and potatoes of Massachusetts. So, Massachusetts, for those who don't live here, uh, where freedom started here, but it doesn't reside here anymore. Uh, Firearms Policy Coalition, in a time when most gun owners in this state say, "Hey, Jared, how come nobody comes to our defense? How come nobody is suing on our behalf? What's going on?" I will say that in the COVID era, the last year and 2, 3 months, Firearms Policy Coalition twice now has initiated major lawsuits in this state on our behalf as gun owners. The first one was when old Charlie Baker, our governor, and Maura Healey, the AG, wink, wink, nod, nod, make the deal to shut down anything related to the Second Amendment, whether it was a gun shop or a range, etc. And it was a two-sided lawsuit. Firearms Policy Coalition came into the state, and we scored a victory there, and everything had to open back up, and it was almost like it should have been prior to the lockdown, even though we're still behind the curve here. And the second one is what we're talking about today. We in Massachusetts have a handgun ban, if you will. Those of us who live here, it's called the approved handgun roster. And there's a few things. Actually, let me pull the roster here up on screen so folks can see what I'm referring to. And I'm sure, Bill, as you've been reading up on this, it's probably made you cross your eyes and go crazy a little bit. It's nuts. So they update this quarterly. Supposed to update it quarterly. The most recent one on the website is from October. And what I'll jump down to is we'll go down to Glock, because Glock is one of the most popular handguns in the country. And excuse the scrolling. There we go. So what I'm going to show you here is you can get on this roster, it's approved in Massachusetts. You can get Gen 4s and Gen 5s. They're approved for sale in Massachusetts. However, you can't buy them. Yeah, you can't buy them in Massachusetts from an FFL. Why? Because the Attorney General, Maura Healey, Karen, she has these unwritten rules it's the handgun sale regulations, and there are a whole bunch of hoops that manufacturers need to jump through in order to get their gun on the roster. But then there needs to be a 10-pound trigger minimum. There needs to be a magazine disconnect. There needs to be a loaded chamber indicator, and the like, just to be able to be sold as a safer option, I guess.
Right. So it's kind of a dual level analysis, that in order to be able to be sold by FFLs in the state, first you have to get on the roster. And even getting on the roster is not enough. Then you have to pass Attorney General Healey's magical test.
Right.
So we have firearms that are in common use all over the country that are just simply not available in Massachusetts. As you know, you can't go into a gun shop to buy the most popular handguns in the country and probably in the world, any Glock pistol.
Right.
And really what these two things together serve as a handgun ban. The vast majority of handguns that are in wide, popular, lawful use all over the country are simply not available for sale in Massachusetts. And that's a violation of the Second Amendment.
And I wholeheartedly agree. And I know everybody watching this from the state right now is doing a little dance. So on behalf of the state, thank you to yourself, Brandon, Adam, Jan, everybody involved in this. Thank you so much, because it's at the right time. We're striking while the iron's hot in my eyes, especially after some of the big victories nationwide. And give somebody an idea of where we go from here. So the lawsuit was filed yesterday. Those folks watching who aren't familiar with criminal procedure, could you just lay it out and how a lawsuit like this moves forward?
Sure. So this is a federal lawsuit. It's brought in federal court, and it's a civil lawsuit. So basically, the allegation is that this handgun ban, the combination of the roster and the AG's regs, violate the Second and 14th Amendment constitutional rights of all Massachusetts residents who are subject to them. So at this point, given that the complaint was just filed, we'll have a little bit of time during which we actually get service of process to the defendants, to AG Healey and Thomas Turco, who's the state official who's in charge of running the approved handgun roster. And then at that point, they get about 21 days to file a response of some kind, and then we'll get a feeling for exactly how the state of Massachusetts wants to respond to this and how the fight's going to proceed.
Okay, awesome. So that saves a lot of questions that I know would come after posting this video. Now,
sure, and Jared, I will add too that our PR team and our social media team is really great about posting these things in real time. So to throw another FPC link out there, because we're great at having 10,000 links. If you go to fpclegal.org, you can see all of the most current legal current events for all of the cases that we're involved in, the cases that we're watching, and they're posted in chronological order. So the newest case, the newest event will always be right at the top. And if you just go to fpclegal.org, that will show up and you'll see right there, June 8th, United States Court for the District of Massachusetts, Granada v. Healy. That's the case we're talking about right now.
And I'll have these links down below, guys and gals, because if you're like me, you're going to want to read the complaint and all that stuff that'll follow, whether they're motions or whatever. You're going to want to read all these and stay up on it. So I'll have that there. So if I'm Joe, the plumber, the gun owner in Massachusetts, how can I help FPC in this fight?
So, I mean, the best thing that they can do at this point is join. The more membership, the more supporters, and the more eyes on these things and people contacting their local representatives, that's how we move the needle, and that's how we shift the balance of power here is, freedom-loving people, gun owners and Second Amendment advocates. To our detriment, sometimes we're people that like to be left alone and like to leave other people alone.
Right.
Well, that doesn't work when it comes to letting your government officials know what they need to be doing, and in this case, know what they need to stop doing.
Absolutely.
So you have to be active. You have to be vocal. You need to be civil, but you have to get involved and reach out to your local representatives and let them know that you support this sort of action and that you don't support additional gun control from the state of Massachusetts.
Awesome. And like I said, as a reminder, if you're watching this, if anything comes in by the mean of a super chat or a super sticker or whatever else they want to call it these days, it'll all be donated right to Firearms Policy Coalition to help in this fight. And I thank you guys and gals for being supportive in the cause. And Bill, I got to ask you, man, from somebody on the outside looking in, somebody who isn't familiar with the shenanigans in Massachusetts, as you were going through all this stuff, the roster and her regulations, like what was going through your mind? Have you seen anything like this nationwide?
So there are a few states that like to play these games, right? California, it comes immediately to mind. Right. But what becomes really immediately clear once you start getting into the nitty gritty of looking at these regulations is, it's gamesmanship. This is all of the layers of harassment that gun owners deal with in Massachusetts, going from the firearms ID card on down. It's different ways that the government can insert themselves between you and your rights. And they'll do it under the auspices of safety. They'll do it under the auspices of regulating commercial sale. But the reality is they want to play games and they want to see how often they can screw with you before you either give up and say to heck with it, or you move out of state. Well, in this case, we're gonna open door number 3, which is serve you with a nice little civil lawsuit.
Awesome. And for those who might be familiar with the civil lawsuit, it's a 1983 claim, correct?
Correct. It's a 1983 claim, which in short alleges that the state, and in this case the Attorney General and Thomas Turco, another state official, are through the power of their state government infringing on the rights of Massachusetts residents.
Absolutely. It's a civil rights violation, which is awesome. It's awesome to be here, man. I can't thank you guys and gals enough for dipping your toe back in the water here in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. We need all the help we can get. Is there anything else you think the folks might need to know or think it'd be good to know about this case or other things maybe that's going on in the state that they could help out on?
I think that, the most important thing is, as we reiterated time and time again, is that you stay involved, and you just stay aware. But part of the gamesmanship that, in particular, apparently the state of Massachusetts likes to play, is the laws are written so they're basically completely ununderstandable. even as from an attorney's standpoint, we're left scratching our heads trying to understand what the heck all of this stuff means in total and what it actually does in practice. And
Right.
you and I had a couple conversations to that end as to how is this stuff actually being enforced in Massachusetts? Because if you read it on its face, it reads like gobbledygook. So, making sure that you're informed, making sure that you're not only exercising your rights, but that you're also a good advocate, and that means being involved. But it also means, talking to your neighbors, and being a good advocate means, being pleasant, being polite, and let's get the tent a little bit bigger. Take a neighbor to go shooting for the first time.
So, is there anything maybe you want to tell the folks about FPC on the national stage of what's going on and how they might be able to maybe educate some folks there?
Sure. So, I think what FPC likes to do, and where we've been focused, are a couple major areas of gun control, which is who can have a gun. And to that score, we have filed and will continue to file lawsuits all over the country looking to vindicate the rights of young adults. We have multiple states where if you are between 18 and 20, your Second Amendment rights are severely restricted. In addition to who can have a gun, we also like to focus on who can carry a gun. We have lawsuits all over the country pending as we speak, addressing concealed carry restrictions, concealed carry delays, as well as a lot of the same states that restrict 18 to 20-year-olds make their concealed carry permit 21 plus.
Yeah.
So at age 18, you can join the military, you can get married, you can enter into contracts, you can do all of these things. You can be prosecuted as an adult under the law, up to and including being killed by the state. You can be executed, but
Right.
you can't carry you can't carry a firearm in your own lawful self-defense. So that's definitely a problem that we're targeting. As evident in the recent Miller decision out of California, what guns can you have? So who can have guns, who can carry guns, and what guns is it that you can have? And on that score, we're really targeting assault weapons bans as well as magazine capacity bans. So we're involved in a few dozen lawsuits all over the country at this point, with many more coming. And seems like pretty much every day we get new opportunities to sue somebody else. So I'm not going to run out of work anytime soon.
Yeah, which is all the more reason, folks, just seriously chip into Firearms Policy Coalition. Whether you want to do it through a super chat here or you want to donate directly, their website makes it super easy to do. I've done it several times myself, but we got to help. I always say support those who support you, and FPC is doing that nationwide. And again, my friend, my hat is off to you. Thank you so much for the effort of you and your colleagues. And it's been nice to be able to build friendships with you all. And I look forward to the future going forward, whether or not Massachusetts is even part of it. I look forward to building those relationships. So thank you.
Thank you, Jared, and I appreciate it. And one more thing that does come to mind that I think is important to mention, which is something people can start to do tomorrow, is send their comments in opposition of this new Brace Apocalypse 2021. The Biden ATF has put out and now published the new rulemaking or proposed rulemaking regarding pistol braces. So my understanding is that proposed rule should be published in the Federal Register tomorrow. So that would be Thursday, June 10th. And at that point, just like our opposition with the rulemaking regarding unfinished frames and receivers, we've got 90 days to hammer them with comments. So it's absolutely crucial that we do that. They tried this rulemaking on pistol braces last year, and we got them to run with their tail between their legs. And quite frankly, this new rule is way worse than the last one.
Oh,
So
absolutely. I
I
was looking
think
at
they've
that
offered us.
worksheet. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's a disaster. Yeah, I mean, I've been calling it Connect Four. Um, it is, as my esteemed colleague Matt LaRosiere said, it's complete lunacy by a bunch of lunatics, and I think that's about right. I don't think it can be put any better than that.
Absolutely. That worksheet is crazy. I literally cannot think of a scenario where any AR AK style pistol with a brace on it will not be an SBR. I mean, you get penalized if it has sights. You get penalized if it doesn't have sights. If it has a shroud or a heat shield, which every AR has. I mean, it's going to be an interesting
It's
time going forward.
it's unbelievable if you really start digging into the details of it, and I really encourage people to, because the more you read into the document itself, you see what complete nonsense and malarkey it is. Uh, you get penalized for sites, you get penalized for no sites. In terms of whether the brace is designed to be a stock, if it has quote hardened surfaces, that can be both evidence that it was designed to be a stock. But if the flaps that go around your arm are not hard enough, then that's also an indication that they were not designed to actually wrap around your arm. So it's complete malarkey. You know,
Yeah.
every inch you add to length of pole makes your gun a little more SBR-y, so
Now, in all of your legal adventures, do you ever remember? And I have the book here. I keep it on my desk so I can educate people every now and then when they come to the office. Do you ever remember seeing in the Second Amendment, in the Bill of Rights, that the Second Amendment shall not be infringed unless it's a subjective item? I've never seen that before.
I'm going to have to go back and check. It's not there as far as I recall.
Oh, it's crazy times, man. You can't make this stuff up. All right, boss man. I thank you for your time. I know you are really, really busy, and I thank you for carving a couple of minutes out for educating the group here in Massachusetts, as well as the nation as a whole, of what you guys are doing going forward. And I look forward to being as helpful as I can to you going forward. I am here to help you all, so please reach out anytime you want to get on here or anytime you need my assistance. The floor is always yours. So thank you.
I really appreciate it. Appreciate the opportunity to come on and talk to your audience, and I hope to be back on soon.
Anytime, brother. All right, guys and
Right on.
gals. Until we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, carry your weapon, join FPC, donate. The link is down below. And again, everything you super chat during this video is going to them. And you can also do it through their link. All right, guys and gals, till the next one, be safe.